Hi guys, welcome to the vlog today. I had to make sure I hit record. I've done that several times where I thought I was talking and it wasn't recorded. So anyway, welcome to the vlog today. Today we're going to talk about a e-discovery firm, EPIQ Global, EPIQ with a Q, EPIQ, which got hit by ransomware recently, over the weekend, I believe it was. Okay, so first, what's e-discovery? Okay, so e-discovery is short for electronic discovery. It's basically the collection of any electronic evidence, whether it be it's the process of identifying, collecting, and providing electronically stored information for a lawsuit or an investigation. It includes emails, documents, presentations. It includes websites, social media, audio files, video files, anything that you will find electronically on a computer or server or whatever, some type of media or phone or whatever. Those are electronic documents that or electronic evidence that you produce if you're in a lawsuit. So let's just say you're suing somebody and you want to collect evidence and pertinent to your case. You submit, and when you file a lawsuit, you go through discovery, and then you submit a request for e-discovery. E-discovery, now there are vendors out there that will go out and now process and collect that information for you. And EPIQ is one of those actual vendors that they have 80 offices, 80 global offices, right? So they are hit with ransomware and their systems are gone. They're shut down. They shut down everything, and they don't have a timeline for actual for those systems coming back up. And again, ransomware, another managed service provider. So ransomware, of course, doesn't care what you do. However, if I am a criminal that's trying to force somebody to pay my ransom, right? I go after a e-discovery type of vendor that has cases involved with what I have, what I'm providing as a service. Because let's break this down. You sue someone, you request that electronic information from them. EPIQ comes in as a service provider on either side. Doesn't matter. They're producing those documents. They're recovering those documents. They're storing those documents, and they're essentially facilitating the process of you collecting this electronic information. They get hit by ransomware. Where's your evidence? Oh, really? Okay, and so it's time to go to trial. EPIQ can't produce any of the evidence that they've collected for you, right? And that the law, if nothing else, is about timing. I am not a litigator. I just play one on TV. I am not a litigator. I usually farm out any type of litigation coming my way, even the cybersecurity and privacy, just because, going into the courtroom, although, I just don't have that experience yet. Whether I will or not, we never know. But I know enough to know that the law is based in evidence rules. I did get an A in evidence in law school. It's based on timing, right? Or the procedure, criminal procedure, civil procedure, the process by which you go through a civil lawsuit or criminal lawsuit. There are rules involved in that, and timing is one of them. If you cannot produce certain things by certain times, your case will go away, right? So that's the issue, right? So now you have this e-discovery provider that may not be able to provide what they do, the evidence of what that they've collected in your case, right? Just make it think about as you. So I mean, they put out a statement, of course, and they said at this time, no evidence of any unauthorized transfer or misuse or exfiltration of data has been observed. And so they're saying there's no evidence that someone took the data. Okay, again, if you if you watched this blog before, I've told you how to read these statements, right? And no evidence when everything is still down seems to me that they're conducting an investigation. And so they could say it right now, but once you conduct that investigation, especially if your systems are still down, you conduct that investigation, you could find anything, and you could find that data has been exfiltrated, right? So again, And we'll get into my rant. You have to stay tuned for the random thought because I'm gonna save my true rant for my random thought today. But I mean, one of the things, the questions in the article, and of course you can find the articles linked in at the YouTube comments. Does Epic have cyber liability insurance, right? And not only for recovery, but if my case gets dismissed, or me as an attorney, I get sanctioned for not producing the evidence that my do not disturb wasn't on. So you start to hear my phone ring. Sorry about that. But where was I? Cyber liability insurance, Epic, and whether or not the cyber liability insurance covers them recovering, in addition to if my case gets dismissed because I can't produce evidence that's in your possession, or if an attorney gets sanctioned because they can't produce the evidence or they can't get into these systems, does the cyber liability insurance cover that as well? And that's up in the air, right? And so all of these things are happening. And of course, you guys know I've been ranting and raving about ransomware, and it's just the downstream effect of what's going on and where the attacks are headed. Again, originally, individual users, now, corporate enterprise users, and now targeted using target. I mean, what if, just bear with me for a minute. I'm a criminal. I'm on trial for murder, or whatever. It's a potential, death penalty type of case, right? And so I'm desperate, and I hire someone to now either go in and attack Epic because I know the prosecution is using Epic as a service provider for e-discovery. And I go in and I say, hey, I pay somebody. I'm a big bad girl, right? I have all this cash. I could go pay somebody to go attack Epic specifically to create this huge distraction, right? And then now I say, okay, I want you to take my data. Specifically, I'm hiring you to create the smoke and mirror scenario so you can pull my data out there, so they will never ever be able to recover the recording, which I said I killed this person, or I got hired somebody to kill this person, the smoking gun, whatever that may be in this scenario, right? So again, you're having this attack, which is simply thwarted, actually, and you're having this attack happen to you, and they've used this ransomware for, I mean, it's consistently matured over the years here. So stay tuned for my random thought now, and I'll rant and rave a little bit about ransomware. Okay. Would you know if you had a security breach? Would you know who to call if you had a security breach? Do you know your requirements by law to report when you have a security breach? Do you have a written incident response plan? If not, you may want to call us, the cybersecurity law firm of Texas, where we have incident response workshops where we walk our clients step by step through the creation of an incident response capability, so you will know and you'll be able to respond. If you're interested, please go to our website and sign up for one of our sessions now. All right, so my rant and rave. So I was reading another article because it seems like every article last week that I read, where they come to my email account or whatever, it's about ransomware. I mean, the one is from a legal publication that I read. Another one, of course, was from SANS, and we'll get back to SANS in a minute. I'll send them a shout out. I love SANS, but there was a FBI was at RSA. I think that was last week, right? FBI was at RSA, and they were basically saying that over the past 6.5 years, victims have paid out over 140 million in Bitcoin based on ransomware. And they gave you the top 5. I'll give you the top 5. I'm not going to promise I'm saying these names right. The first one, I can't. Since I left the SOC, I don't have people telling me how to pronounce these things. So bear with me. RYUK, which is Ryuk, I guess, 61 million. That's number 1. Number 2 was Crisis Dharma, which was 24 million. Number 3, BitPaymer, when it was out, which was 8 million. And then SamSam. I remember SamSam because I was dealing with SamSam, 6.9 million, right? So those are your top 4 payouts of ransomware, right? And so what was surprising to me was how ransomware is being used. FBI said RDP provides initial foothold in 70 to 80% of the incidents that they've seen by brute force attack, which was like, what? And of course, brute force attack is essentially trying to hack the passwords by creating, using a dictionary to try to username and password your way into something, which is not necessarily a efficient way. I mean, the computing power now allows you to try to brute force anything. But my question is, at what particular point does the lockout procedure work if you keep missing these passwords and then you get 5 tries and then you get, hygiene type issue. RDP, remote desktop protocol is what RDP stands for. And they're essentially just trying any combination of username and password to get into these individual systems. Weird. And whether that be simple, easy passwords or complex passwords that have been reused, that's still a threat, right? And those can all be found. All of that is out there. Once your username and password has been breached in any number of things, again, that can be reused as a way to actually try to brute force your way into it. And then they said the rest of it is through phishing, which I really thought it would be reversed, right? I thought ransomware would be getting in more by user clicking on links, because that's been my experience. But my experience, evidently, according to the FBI, is different. 70 to 80%, the majority is brute force in RDP. So, okay, we'll go with that. And I don't know if it's brute force RDP just based on their investigations, right? Because not everybody that has paid cryptocurrency to an organization, that's probably what it is. Not everybody that has paid ransoms to had called in the FBI. So they can't know if, it's 70 to 80% of their investigations. There we go. That's where that statistic come from. And they of course recommended offline backups. Now, this is my rant. This is where SANS comes in. Back in 2016, I was speaking at the SANS Security Operations Center Summit, and I did a talk, and I was talking about, what we were seeing in the Security Operations Center. I think that was the year I think I co-chaired that event. And I read my reviews. Now, in that speech, in that talk, I said the answer is really simple to ransomware. It's backups. And I remember reading my, what are those things they give you, the surveys at the end. And there was this individual that said that my talk wasn't on point and it wasn't technical. I did not belong there or something like that because of the simple answer that I gave to ransomware, with its backups, which fast forward, that's still the answer today, because the answer to ransomware is not a technical answer. It is data backups and offline data backups. It's always been the answer. So I'm sorry, even if he's out at the off chance he or she, and I would say he because there wasn't a lot of women there during that time, but if he's still watching, the answer is still the same. FBI tells you in 2020, offline data backups. Mary Cheney told you in 2016, data backups, offline data backups. Same answer. Okay, rant over. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Guys, thanks again for listening to the Breach Whisperer blog, sponsored by the cybersecurity law firm of Texas. Don't forget to like this post and subscribe to our channel so you can get updates of when we post new things on our channel. In addition, spread the word for me, right? Let's get out there and tell a friend, and so they can all become paranoid cybersecurity and privacy people. Don't forget, if you would like to connect with me on socials, you can connect with me on Twitter at Mary N. Cheney. Use my middle initial always. For my nonprofit, Minorities in Cybersecurity, that is at Mike Leadership, and Instagram and Facebook at MN Cheney Law. And you can find me on LinkedIn just by searching for my name. So if you're interested, connect with me. Thanks again. And just remember, awareness equals knowledge.